All right, folks, today we're talking about linear games. No more spending 50 hours lost chasing meaningless side quests. These are the games that grab you by the collar and say, sit down, shut up, and enjoy this roller coaster of a story. Here, it's all about pure action, intense storytelling, and moments that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. So get ready, because these are the 18 linear games you need to play before you die.
1. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. If adventure had a face, it would be Nathan Drake's. Uncharted 4 isn't just another treasure hunting game, it's a farewell letter to one of gaming's most lovable rogues. From the first chapter, you feel the weight of Drake's past pulling him back into danger when all he wants is peace. The set pieces are absolutely insane. Collapsing ruins, gunfights on trucks, underwater dives, and that legendary Madagascar chase scene that still gives me chills. But what really hits home is how human this story feels. The chemistry between Drake and Elena, the brotherly bond with Sam, it's so real you forget it's a game sometimes. The humor, the tension, the emotional beats, everything flows perfectly. By the end, it's not about treasure anymore. It's about legacy, love, and learning when to walk away. Naughty Dog didn't just make an action game. They made an experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Every time I replay it, I notice some tiny detail I missed before, and that's how you know it's a masterpiece.
2. God of War 2018. Man, God of War 2018 completely changed how I see action games. Kratos used to be this rage-fueled god killer. Now he's a father trying to figure out how to raise a boy in a world that keeps testing him. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus is the real heart of it all. There are moments where they barely talk, and yet you feel everything. The guilt, the pride, the fear. The Leviathan axe feels so satisfying, PUs, it's almost unfair to other games. Every fight feels heavy, meaningful, and perfectly choreographed. But it's the quiet moments that stay with you, like when Kratos hesitates before putting a hand on his son's shoulder, or when you realize he's terrified of being the father he once hated. The whole journey through the Norse realms feels like a personal odyssey about redemption and restraint. And that ending? Absolute goosebumps. Every sound, every glance, every boss fight, it all builds to something powerful. This isn't just a reboot, it's a new definition of what storytelling in games can be.
3. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Hellblade is not an easy game to play, not because it's hard, but because it's intense. It's a brutal, emotional deep dive into the mind of someone battling psychosis, grief, and trauma. From the first second, the binaural sound design starts whispering voices into your head, and you begin to feel what Senua feels, the fear, the confusion, the doubt. It's one of the few games that made me take off my headphones just to breathe for a second. The combat is simple but powerful. Every strike feels like it's fueled by pure emotion. Visually, it's breathtaking in the darkest way possible, eerie, dreamlike, and full of symbolism. What really blew me away was how brave this game is as a piece of art. It's not about winning, it's about understanding what it means to fight your inner demons and accept your pain. By the end, you don't just respect Senua, you become her. Every whisper, every step through the mist feels personal. Hellblade isn't just played, it's felt.
4. Alan Wake 2. I don't even know how to describe Alan Wake 2 without sounding crazy, because the game is crazy, in the best possible way. It's part psychological horror, part detective thriller, and part fever dream that keeps twisting your perception of reality. One moment you're piecing together clues as Saga Anderson, and the next you're trapped in Alan's nightmare of his own creation. The story constantly flips reality and fiction like pages in a haunted book. The lighting, the atmosphere, the weird live-action scenes, everything builds this sense of dread that crawls under your skin.
What's insane is how self-aware it is. The game knows it's a story about a story, and it pulls you into that madness. It doesn't hold your hand. It expects you to think, to connect dots, to lose yourself in the darkness. Every revelation feels earned, every scare intentional. When you finally put the controller down, you realize you didn't just play Alan Wake 2, you lived inside it. 5. The Last of Us Part 1. You know how some games make you cry even when you know exactly what's coming? That's The Last of Us Part 1. I've played it more times than I can count, and still, that opening scene kills me. It's not just a game, it's a masterpiece of storytelling. Joel and Ellie's journey across a broken America isn't about zombies or survival. It's about connection, loss, and what we're willing to do for love. The PS5 remake takes it to another level. Every facial expression, every quiet look between them, it's just real. The world feels brutal yet beautiful, the ruins of humanity overgrown by nature. I love how every encounter tells a story. A house full of old notes, a skeleton clutching a photo, a broken guitar. It's the small things that make this game unforgettable. And that ending, no matter how many times I see it, I always sit in silence after. You don't finish The Last of Us, it finishes you. 6. A Plague Tale: Innocence. This game broke me in the best way possible. It's dark, emotional, and absolutely unforgettable. You play as Amicia, a teenage girl trying to protect her little brother Hugo in a world literally being eaten alive by rats and plague. But it's not the rats that get you, it's the humanity. The way Amicia grows from a scared kid into this fierce protector is just beautiful. Every chapter makes you feel their desperation. The sound of rats swarming underground still haunts me. The stealth mechanics and light puzzles are solid, but the real magic is in the relationship between the siblings. You feel their bond grow, even as the world falls apart. The game doesn't rely on big explosions or action, it relies on tension, atmosphere, and emotion. And that soundtrack? Pure goosebumps. By the end, you don't just want to finish the game, you want to save them. It's one of those stories that stays with you long after you're done. 7. Metro Exodus. Metro Exodus is one of those games that doesn't just drop you into a post-apocalyptic world, it makes you live in it. You feel the cold, the hunger, the hope. It's grim and haunting, but there's a quiet beauty in its despair. The mix between open zones and tight, claustrophobic tunnels gives it this incredible rhythm. One moment you're breathing in freedom, the next you're gasping for air in the dark. What I love most is the storytelling, told not through flashy cutscenes, but through small moments. A conversation by the campfire, a note found in an abandoned train, a glimpse of what humanity used to be. Every bullet feels precious, every choice has weight, and the ending you get depends on how you treated others along the way, which makes every playthrough feel personal. It's not a game you rush through, it's one you experience slowly, like reading a great novel. Metro Exodus is haunting, hopeful, and one of the most immersive journeys I've ever played. 8. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. If you've ever wanted to feel like an explorer, Shadow of the Tomb Raider nails it. This is Lara Croft at her most human, scarred, determined, and carrying the weight of everything she's done. The game's jungle setting is absolutely stunning. You can almost smell the rain, hear the insects, and feel the mud under her boots. The tombs are back to being deadly puzzles again. Intricate, atmospheric, and deeply satisfying to solve. What hooked me most was the tone. Darker, more reflective. Lara isn't just raiding tombs anymore. She's questioning what kind of person she's become. The stealth mechanics feel sharp, the combat's tight, and the story has a real emotional punch.
There's a moment near the end that genuinely made me pause and just stare at the screen, realizing how far she's come since the first reboot. It's not just about adventure, it's about identity and destiny. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the closure Lara deserved. Raw, powerful, and deeply personal.
9. Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm not gonna lie, this one gives me chills just thinking about it. Silent Hill 2 Remake isn't just horror, it's psychological punishment in the best possible way. It's the kind of game that crawls under your skin and stays there. You play as James Sunderland, a man haunted by guilt, searching for his dead wife in a fog-soaked town that feels more alive than it should. The remake looks insane. Every reflection, every flicker of light, every shadow feels alive, like the town itself is watching you. What hits hardest, though, is the story. It's not just about monsters. It's about grief, denial, and the things we hide from ourselves. You don't just play Silent Hill 2, you experience it. Every hallway makes your heart race, not because you expect a jump scare, but because you know something's wrong. And when you finally realize what's really going on, man, it's one of those moments that stays burned into your memory forever. This isn't horror for cheap thrills. It's horror that makes you think, feel, and question everything.
10. The Order 1886. This game gets way too much hate, and I'll die on this hill. The Order 1886 is criminally underrated. It's like stepping into a steampunk movie that never lets you look away. Set in an alternate Victorian London where knights fight werewolves and rebels, the atmosphere is just chef's kiss. The attention to detail is ridiculous. The fog, the costumes, the lighting, it's like every frame could be a painting. Sure, it's short, but it's one of those games that feels cinematic in the best way. Every gunfight feels intense, the weapons have real weight, and the pacing keeps you glued to the story. And that story? Mysterious, stylish, and full of lore that deserved way more love than it got. There's something about the way it ends, unfinished yet full of promise, that still makes me wish for a sequel. The Order 1886 may not be perfect, but it's unforgettable. It's proof that sometimes games can be pure art, even if they don't last forever.
11. Resident Evil 2 Remake. This one, pure perfection. Resident Evil 2 Remake is how you remake a classic. It doesn't just modernize, it redefines. The moment you step into that dark police station as Leon or Claire, you feel the tension in your chest. Every creak of the floor, every distant growl, every flicker of the flashlight. It's survival horror at its absolute best. The zombies here don't mess around. They stumble, they lunge, they terrify you even after you've shot them 5 times. The remake nails that perfect balance between nostalgia and freshness. It respects the original, but makes it terrifying in a whole new way. The graphics are stunning, the atmosphere's dripping with dread, and that sound design, horrifyingly good. I swear, I spent more time listening at doors than opening them. And then there's Mr. X, the walking nightmare who turns the whole game into a chase sequence. Resident Evil 2 Remake doesn't just scare you, it owns you. Every step you take feels like borrowed time, and that's why it's a masterpiece.
12. Astro Bot. If you've ever needed a reminder of why you fell in love with gaming, Astro Bot is that reminder. It's pure joy, no cynicism, no darkness, just unfiltered fun. Every level feels like a love letter to PlayStation's history, full of clever references and hidden details. The platforming is buttery smooth, the controls are super tight, and the DualSense feedback, absolutely magical. You feel every step, every bounce, every gadget come to life in your hands. But what really makes it special is how much personality it has. Astro's not just cute, he's full of charm and energy. The game constantly surprises you with creativity, turning even the simplest mechanics into moments of wonder. It's like being a kid again,
rediscovering the magic of gaming for the first time. Every time I finished a level, I had this stupid grin on my face. Astro Bot isn't just a platformer, it's a celebration of everything we love about gaming. And honestly, I think every PS5 owner should be required to play it.
13. Mafia: The Old Country. Man, Mafia: The Old Country, which is basically Mafia Definitive Edition, is one of those games that just oozes atmosphere. It takes you straight into the 1930s, back when loyalty meant something, cars were tanks, and every decision could cost you your life. You play as Tommy Angelo, a cab driver who accidentally falls into the mob life, and from there, it's a full-blown cinematic experience. The storytelling here is top tier, simple, grounded, and emotional. You really feel Tommy's struggle as he goes from an ordinary guy to a man knee-deep in blood and honor. The voice acting? Incredible. The city? It feels alive. Even though it's linear, it's not about side quests or distractions, it's about living a powerful story. And the remake visuals? Stunning. Rain-soaked streets, glowing lights, smoke in the air, everything feels straight out of a gangster movie. This is one of those games that you put the controller down and think, wow, that was cinema. It's pure storytelling, perfection. 14. Evil West. This one's just fun, like unapologetically no-nonsense fun. Evil West throws you into this wild mix of cowboys and vampires, and somehow it works. You play as Jesse Rentier, a monster-hunting badass armed with electrified gauntlets and an arsenal straight out of a nightmare. It's fast, it's brutal, and it's loud in the best way possible. The combat is where this game shines. You're punching vampires into walls, blasting demons with shotguns, chaining lightning attacks. It's chaos, but beautiful chaos. And the best part, it's refreshingly old school. No filler, no endless map icons, just pure action and linear missions that keep you moving. The tone reminds me of God of War meets Van Helsing. Every level feels handcrafted and focused, with that perfect mix of dark humor and gothic western vibes. It might not reinvent the genre, but it doesn't have to. It knows exactly what it wants to be. Fast, fun, and insanely satisfying.
Brennan, medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
15. Dead Space Remake. Alright, I'm gonna be real. Dead Space Remake is one of the best horror experiences of all time, period. From the second you step onto the USG Ishimura, you know you're not getting out of there the same. It's claustrophobic, it's terrifying, and it's perfectly paced. You play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer, not a soldier, and that makes every encounter feel desperate. The remake nails everything. The lighting, the sound, the new dialogue. It's like the game finally got the treatment it always deserved. The necromorphs are absolutely horrifying, and the new dismemberment system, chef's kiss. There's nothing quite like blasting off a monster's legs in the dark while your heart's racing out of your chest. But what really makes it incredible is the tension. You're constantly on edge, never feeling safe. Even the quiet moments feel dangerous. And by the end, you're exhausted in the best way. It's survival horror done right. And honestly, it might be one of the best remakes ever made.
16. Stellar Blade. Now this one, Stellar Blade, is just pure style with substance. You play as Eve, a badass warrior sent to reclaim Earth from bizarre alien creatures. And from the first minute, the game just looks incredible. The world design is jaw-dropping. Post-apocalyptic cities, glowing tech ruins, and fast-paced combat that feels like a mix between Bayonetta and Nier Automata. What hooked me most is how fluid everything feels. Dodging, slashing, chaining combos, it's all silky smooth. And every hit feels powerful. It's not just a button masher either. Timing, positioning, and learning enemy patterns are key. And Eve, she's got depth. There's mystery behind her mission. And as the story unfolds, it gets surprisingly emotional.
The music's amazing too, adding that cinematic punch to every battle. It's one of those games where you can't help but stop just to admire the scenery. Stellar Blade is the kind of linear experience that grabs your attention from start to finish and never lets go.
"17. Until Dawn." Man, Until Dawn is one of those games that just owns the interactive horror genre. It's like watching a crazy teen slasher movie, but you're the one deciding who lives and who dies. You're up on this snowy mountain with 8 friends, things go horribly wrong, of course, and suddenly, every little choice matters. It's tense, unpredictable, and ridiculously fun to replay just to see what could have gone differently. The best part? It doesn't pretend to be anything else. It's pure cinematic horror. You'll scream, laugh, and then regret every bad choice you make 5 minutes later. The writing has that perfect mix of cliché and charm, and some of the characters are so well done that you genuinely care if they make it or not. It's also got some serious jump scares and emotional moments that hit harder than you'd expect. By the end, you'll either be proud of your decisions or absolutely traumatized by how badly you messed up. Either way, you'll want to play it again. And that's the magic of Until Dawn. It's a perfectly crafted, story-driven ride that nails the movie night with a controller vibe.
Ratchet. 18. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Alright, let's end on something lighter. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is straight up joy in video game form. From the moment it starts, you're hit with this burst of color, energy, and creativity that just makes you smile. It's like playing a Pixar movie, only with more explosions and way more charm. The gameplay? Smooth as butter. Jumping between dimensions mid-combat feels like magic. Every weapon has personality. Whether you're freezing enemies, launching mini turrets, or firing pixel blasters, it's all ridiculously satisfying. And visually, man, it's next level. The way the game transitions between worlds without loading is insane. It's one of those moments where you realize, yep, this is why I bought a PS5. But what I love most is the heart. Ratchet, Clank, Rivet, they're more than just cartoon heroes. They've got real emotional depth. The story is surprisingly touching, and it balances humor, action, and heart perfectly. It's one of those rare games that makes you feel like a kid again, while still keeping you hooked as an adult. Rift Apart isn't just a technical showcase, it's a pure celebration of why we love games in the first place. And that's it, guys. These are the kind of games that remind you why you fell in love with gaming in the first place. No endless side quests, just pure storytelling and emotion. If you've missed any of these, fix that now. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.